What's the worst first date you've ever been on? I matched with this guy Don on a dating app. His profile seemed normal enough. Decent pics, had a job, could string together complete sentences. The bar was literally on the floor TBH. We chatted for like a week and he suggested meeting up for dinner at this pretty nice place downtown. I got there right on time and texted him I was waiting at the bar. He said he was parking and would be in soon. Cool, whatever. I ordered a glass of wine and scrolled through my phone. About 15 minutes later, I see this guy who I recognize as Don from his photos walk in with an older woman. I was confused but figured maybe he ran into his mom while parking or something and was just saying hi before she went somewhere else. Nope. He walks straight up to me, introduces himself, and then goes, "This is my mother, Marcia. Hope you don't mind that she joined us." With this totally normal smile like this was not the weirdest thing ever. I was so shocked I just kind of smiled and said hi to his mom while my brain was screaming. His mom was super friendly and immediately started asking me questions about myself while Don just stood there smiling. The hostess came to seat us and I was still in such shock that I just went along with it. Like, what was I supposed to do? We get to the table and his mom immediately takes charge, suggesting wines and appetizers. Don barely talked at all for the first 20 minutes. When I tried to direct questions at him specifically, he would answer with like 2 words, and then his mom would jump in with, "Don is so modest, he actually," and then tell some story about him. I asked him what he did for fun, and before he could answer, his mom was like, "Oh, Donnie loves hiking. He goes every weekend. Tell Nicole about that trail you did last month." And then Don would just nod and give super brief answers while his mom dominated the convo. The whole time I kept thinking this had to be some kind of joke or prank, like was I on a hidden camera show? But nope, this was my actual reality. At one point, I excused myself to go to the bathroom and texted my roommate, "SOS, this guy brought his mom on our first date," and she was like, "Run." But IDK, I was morbidly curious at this point about how this whole thing would play out, and also I was hungry and we had just ordered our main courses. When I came back, Marcia was showing Don something on her phone and then immediately put it away when I sat down. The conversation somehow turned to relationships, and Marcia started talking about Don's ex-girlfriend from 2 years ago. She was going on about how that girl didn't appreciate Don, and some women just don't understand what a catch my son is. I was trying so hard not to laugh or scream. Don just sat there looking slightly uncomfortable but not stopping her at all. Then Marcia asked me about my intentions with her son. I almost choked on my pasta. I reminded her that this was literally our first date, and we were just getting to know each other. She nodded all serious like, "Yes, that's why I'm here, to make sure you're good enough for my Donnie." The craziest part? Don didn't seem embarrassed at all. This was clearly normal for him. When the check came, Don reached for it, finally doing something, but his mom snatched it away saying she wanted to treat us. I insisted on paying my portion, but she refused. Then she looked at me very seriously and said, "I hope you understand that a second date would also include me. Don and I are a package deal until I feel comfortable with who he's seeing." I smiled and nodded while mentally crossing Don off any potential boyfriend list forever. The real kicker came when we were leaving. Don walked me to my car and his mom waited by the restaurant entrance to give us privacy. Her words. Don then asked if he could kiss me goodnight, with his mom watching from 30 feet away. I said no thanks and got in my car so fast. When I got home, I unmatched him immediately. The next day, he somehow found my Instagram and messaged me saying his mom really liked me and thought I was a good candidate, his actual words, and asked when we could go out again. I never responded.